I want to thank everybody before this video starts about all of the support and love that the Fallout 4 video got. I legitimately did not expect it to blow up as it did, but it did, and I can now get paid by YouTube. Through ad revenue, I can set up YouTube members. However, I don't think I'll set up members yet. I am doing ad revenue whenever I can on these longer challenge videos, but I just want to thank you all so much, and without you, that wouldn't be possible. There are a couple of people that I want to call out specifically who did give me constructive criticism so that I can make these videos better. I'm always looking to improve. I'm constantly trying to fiddle with things. I'm constantly trying to make things better. I want to improve as much as I can. Except you, Daz. I suck at emphasis. I tried this video. It is awful. So if you are watching this video, you are the reason why it took so long. You're actually not. I just really suck at recording and I had a busy week. But I'm blaming you. Thank you. Thank you all so much for everything, for all that you've done, for all the support that you've given me, and I hope to put out the types of videos that you want to see in the future. Also, for the 3 or 4 people that are like, man, you should really get a profile picture. There, smack sound effect. It's right there. I spent approximately maybe 10-15 minutes on it. This is my profile picture from now on. You've heard of VTubers, you've heard of animal tubers. Well, I'm a mountain. So, there. Anyways, I just really wanted to get this preface out of the way and just thank you all so much. Without you, this would just be a hobby. Now it's a possible career path. Thank you so much, and we're gonna go to the script right now. Stardew Valley is a game where you're gifted a plot of land and a house from your dying grandparent. So basically the only way any of us are going to get a house nowadays. It is your duty to build up the farm and make connections with the townspeople while growing your skills and becoming a more efficient farmer. Well, what if we didn't do the middle part and just built up the farm and grew our skills? Hear me out. Stardew Valley has a skill system where you get better at a task the more you do it, similar to Skyrim. Sounds simple, right? Wrong! Every little thing you do in Stardew Valley has an experience value associated with it. Well, what if we wanted to max out each skill sequentially on our skill list? I know Shawneedo, I think I'm pronouncing it right, has done something similar in the past where he tried to find a way to max out each skill in a single day from skill level 0 up to the max of 10. However, I will be starting a fresh world, looking at the skill list and only doing tasks that benefit that skill until it becomes its max level. Quickly, before the run starts, I want to rank some time commitment and ease of completion for the 5 main skills. For time commitment, I will rank these skills from shortest to longest. So from shortest, we have fishing, foraging, mining, farming, and combat. For ease of completion, we have going from easiest to hardest, fishing, foraging, farming, mining, and combat. I know that a lot of them are kind of in the same place, but that is just what I'm throwing up there right now. I wish I could tell you what I meant. In my comments, I have shill for time and explain. However, I don't remember when I wrote this because it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So that's my list of skills I think will take the fastest to the longest, and skills that I think are going to be the easiest to complete up to the hardest to complete. So strap in, strap on, and let's get on with the video. Pause. If you're reading the title of this video, you can see that it says Part 1. I have been working on this challenge run for 20 plus hours as of the gameplay standpoint, not including scripting, editing, or any of that kind of stuff. Part 1 is not a good sign. I was not prepared to make more than one video on this topic because I wasn't expecting this to take nearly that long. I really hope this isn't a 5-part series, 1 part per skill, and I can hammer it out in possibly 3 videos. Who knows? Okay, now let's get on the video. Like the skill list says, farming is the first spot on our list. But before we can worry about that, we need to make our character. I clicked the random option because this is a random challenge that should never be completed by any sane individual. I chose my farmer's name, my farm name, and my favorite thing. I also decided to choose the Four Corners farm for reasons that I will talk about in a future video. But for now, just know that the farm we are rocking with for the challenge is the Four Corners farm. Finally getting into the gameplay, and we are thrust into our new farm that we received from our late grandfather. After waking up, we can pick up the 15 parsnip seeds that somebody broke into our house and left for us. We get right to planting and taking care of them, the plants being properly watered, and we switch to our attention cleaning up the farm. Here arises just a couple of problems. There are rocks, trees, leaves, twigs, and grass scattered all around the farm. The only things that we are allowed to destroy at the moment are the twigs, the leaves, and the grass. The other items will give us experience points in skills that we don't have access to yet. This becomes a problem as the seasons go on, but until we get the greenhouse unlocked, we constantly have to worry about the weeds damaging our farm and our crops. We finally gathered enough wood from fallen branches in order to craft a chest. Wood is going to be difficult to get in large quantities because I don't feel like paying an arm and a leg to buy them, so I have to be careful on what I spend it on. In order to fill out my tool belt, I pick up the fishing rod from Willie down at the docks. Unfortunately, the controller I was using at the time started glitching out and I accidentally destroyed one of my parsnips. There goes a good chunk of money wasted. My first harvest came on day 5 and it was enough to get me a level in the farming skill. 1 down and 9 more to go. If everything was this easy, I wouldn't be making this challenge video a part 1. I feel like this is a good time to talk about the mods that I have installed for this game. Like previous games, I download and use mods that help make the game better. Doesn't change any part of the game at all, just adds some visual stuff that aids in time management for this game. It also shows me what actions give me certain experience points, so I will know if I accidentally do something that will give me incorrect experience, so I can restart the day and make sure it doesn't happen again. After the harvesting disaster, I realized I needed to blow off some steam, so I went and stole an old man's prized sword. He mentioned something about it being dangerous, but I was halfway out of the cave before I could hear anything really. In between the different events and the cleaning up of different places for money and resources, I got into a bit of a routine. Wake up, water plants, harvest and replant crops when they finish growing, walk around town digging through the garbage cans, checking the beach for artifact spots, and cleaning up the farm and the area right below the farm. Like I said, wood is important and I need every branch I can manage. While I was digging in somebody's bin, I accidentally stole their can lid. What better way to use my newly acquired trash can lid than put it on my head for the world to see that I do not care about a modern fashion. I woke up one morning and to my surprise, there was Marnie trying to give me a cat she found around my farm. I can't say no to the cat distribution system, so I adopted him and named him Terrence. For a few Stardew Valley players, the pet can get annoying and get in the way when you're trying to do stuff around the farm or during the game. I think there was maybe only one time where Terrence actually got in the way, but it was midday, so it really didn't matter too much. The next major thing that happened was the Egg Festival. Here, I finished the Talking with Everybody in Town quest and received some well-needed money. With crops taking days to grow and be sold, quests are a good way to get a quick influx of a decent amount of cash. The Egg Festival isn't only about talking with everybody else around town though, there is also the egg hunting race. I don't know why the people of Stardew decided that a fully grown adult man should be competing against literal children, but I won't complain. I stomped them. They didn't even have a chance. And for my victory, I got a fancy straw hat. Unfortunate. However, for those who aren't aware and those who've not played Stardew Valley before, every time you go back to the Egg Festival and win, you get a nice cash prize. You don't just keep getting the same hat over and over again. At this point in the game, I am still attempting to get as much money as I can to buy the Joja membership. With how limiting this challenge is in terms of resources to collect, I need to be able to get the benefits of the community center at any point, which means buying the corrupt Joja membership and all of his upgrades. True Stardew Valley fans are not going to be very happy with me. For those of you that don't care and just want to see me suffer during this challenge run, this is my only saving grace. In order to make this part of the challenge go faster, I saved up enough resources to finally craft a scarecrow. This allows me to have more than 15 crops planted outside without the fear of a crow coming down and eating up one of them. With more crops on the farm, that means more farming experience. And more farming experience means that we get towards level 10 that much faster. After as long as it has been, I finally make it to farm level 2 and can craft sprinklers if I had the proper resources for them. Without being able to mine and get mining resources, crafting things like sprinklers And even the furnace is going to be very difficult. I have to get really lucky with artifact spots that I find across town, the train that will come through Stardew Valley every once in a while, and also rummaging around in other people's bins. The good news is all three of those things happen at different times during this part of the challenge. I was finally able to scrounge up enough money to purchase the Joja membership costs. I also made it to level 3 in the farming skill. Those with a keen eye will notice the timer in the top left corner. Until I'm able to get the greenhouse from Joja, the length of time that it takes to get a level will increase exponentially. It takes so long to get a level for farming because of the amount of time that you need to wait in between harvests, not necessarily because of the skill takes a while. When the summer rolls around, things get slightly faster as there are some crops that you can plant that will last 2 seasons, both summer and fall. These crops are corn. They are very good crops because they will be able to be continuously harvested from if you kept them watered and they are fully grown. This cuts down the amount of time between harvests significantly, which will decrease the length of time it takes to get experience and will increase the amount of experience you get in a single season. While I was getting those corn seeds, I also got the first backpack upgrade so I can hold on to more items while I run around town. During summer, there was also a few exciting things that happened. I was able to cobble together enough wood to finally gain access to the other part of the beach. Not extremely useful at the moment, but it does open up possible artifact spots and allows more foraging items when we get to that part of the challenge. An earthquake happened, which gave access to the train station, and as I said before, the train was very helpful when it was coming through town, dropping off different items that I would have no way of getting easily at the points of the run when I got them. Finally, there was a slight bit of damage that happened to the farm. As I am unable to fully destroy all weed type obstacles on the farm, like the rocks or cutting down the trees, this was bound to happen. It does happen a couple of other times, which is very unfortunate and cuts out the amount of experience I can get. But I just wanted to let you know that it has happened on this run, but it does not happen after I get the greenhouse for obvious reasons. The 15th day of summer is the first major corn harvest I have. If you look at the bottom right, you can see just how quickly the experience bar goes up. You might have also noticed that the level crossed over from 3 to 4. I don't technically count a level gained until I sleep for that night and get that big screen telling me that I leveled up and what I learned from that level up, because I could mess up during the day and I would gain, let's say, 1 experience point in mining, because that happened before, and I would have to restart the whole process. So I'm mentioning it now, but I will not mention this type of level up in the future. There was a train that passed through the valley, and like it's the Polar Express delivering presents, it gave me just enough stone to build a furnace. I am finally able to start smelting metal bars and creating sprinklers, which means I don't have to hand water all of my crops. I get to select which 4 to 3 crops that I really don't want to deal with. Speaking of crafting sprinklers, I decided to do so after I thought I had enough money for the greenhouse from Joja. Turns out I can't read, and I missed an extra 0, so instead of 3,500, it is 35,000. I am dumb. This doesn't happen again because I remember it, whatever I think, add a 0. Instead of buying this greenhouse, I decided to go to Clint's shop and purchase enough materials to craft a few sprinklers from the farm. It was at this point in the run that I realized that I was going to break the challenge into multiple parts because farming was taking forever. I decided to put on speedrun splits with my timer. That way, in the future parts, if they do not go over the farming, the mining, the fishing, all of that kind of stuff, people will be able to see just how long it took me to get to where I am at that point in the gameplay. I don't plan on making a 5-part series with 1 part for each skill. I expect a 3-parter. 1 for farming, which is going on right now, 1 for mining, foraging, and fishing, as those skills will probably take the least amount of time collectively, and the final 1 for combat, because combat just takes a while. However, with that being said, hopefully you decide to come back and view parts 2 and/or parts 3 when they get posted after about 4 months, when I finally want to come back to this game. I finally make it to farming level 5, halfway through this part of the challenge, and I want to go insane. Sorry, I am insane. I want to stop because this is taking way too long. But for this level 5, we're given a choice between 2. I decide to go with the tiller perk, giving me more revenue when selling crops. Every little bit's gonna help when I'm saving up for that dang greenhouse, and yes, I will keep mentioning it until I get it, and at that point, it doesn't matter because the challenge is won, or at least this part of the challenge is won. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get back to the video. A little bit ago, I purchased a rare seed from the traveling cart, and, as luck would have it, a fairy would come in and grace me with its presence, growing the seed instantly overnight. Demetrius stopped by asking me what kind of cave I wanted, whether it be a fruit cave or a mushroom cave. I decided to go with the mushroom cave. I didn't do any research on which was the best decision because one would probably give experience points and fruit, the other one is mushrooms, but I didn't do any research because I'm smart and I plan my videos ahead of time. However, it's a good thing I went with the mushrooms because they don't give any experience when picked. They also give, on average, about 300 money. I don't know what the currency in Stardew Valley is. I call it gold, but gold is actually a resource, so I don't know. The mushrooms give about 300 money every day because they regrow every day. You can pick them and sell them. And this is where a decent amount of my income came from because every 3 days you get about 1,000. And with that kind of dough, I'll be able to save up for that greenhouse, which is 35,000 in no time. While doing my daily tasks, the train came by again, giving me plenty of iron to craft another iron bar to help with my sprinkler problem. The Stardew Valley Fair happened, and I spent way too much time gambling on those 50-50 kind of odds. I was able to get enough trinket tokens so that I could purchase the star drop from the shop. I also saved up enough for the rare crow, but it became kind of obsolete as winter was coming in just a couple of weeks. However, the star drop is important for the future parts of the run, as those parts of the run are more energy intensive. Every action you take in Stardew Valley involving your tools takes a certain amount of energy, whether it be watering plants, mining rocks, or swinging your sword at skeletons. So the higher that energy bar is, the better. 4 days after the fair, a meteorite lands on my farm right in front of the mushroom cave. This was where I was going to be growing my plants after the winter, so I'm kinda happy that I haven't started it yet and it didn't just destroy all of my hard work. The night before the final day of fall is the Spirits Eve festival. The only notable thing that happened was I traversed the maze, got a golden pumpkin. In a normal playthrough, this would be useful to raise affection with your favorite townsfolk. However, for me, this is a solid 2,500 money towards the greenhouse. I'm seeing green, baby, and it ain't the money I'm after. Technically, it is the money I'm after, but only to purchase the greenhouse. But you know what I mean. The season is finally winter. I've almost been doing this challenge for a total in-game year and haven't even gotten into level 6 yet. Yay, I love it so much. Why do I do this to myself? However, just because my soul is dying inside doesn't mean there wasn't any good that happened before the end of the year. First and foremost, I had the best train roll through the valley, giving me coal, frozen geodes, wood, and gold ore. I know I said the Polar Express came earlier, but if Santa was in this game, this is his present to me. I also got an ancient seed packet from Gunther, and this will be a majority of my experience and my income as soon as I'm able to get the greenhouse. For the next couple of nights, we have the night market. Every night, I make sure to check the traveling merchant to see what she has to sell. I also end up solving the mermaid puzzle and get the pearl to sell. Again, the mermaid pearl is a gift similar to the golden pumpkin where you can technically give it to anybody and it is loved. It only comes in once per game, not per night market, per game. And I just end up selling it for another 2,500 because I am so close to the greenhouse. I need every bit of money I can get. With all of my saving and selling of rare and once in a lifetime items, I was finally able to save up enough money for the greenhouse. Obviously, it still takes time for plants to grow, so I am basically starting from scratch again, but I can use plants that regrow so the levels will start zooming by and I don't have to worry about the season destroying plants, or I don't have to worry about the farm destroying the plants. It's basically a win-win. Festival of the Winter Star also just happened, and I was chosen to give a gift to Alex. So, like the good farmer and friend that I am, I got him one of my freshly harvested parsnips. On the receiving end, my secret Santa was Linus. He helps me a lot more than you think. He gave me the wonderful gift of speed grow. I decided I didn't need it, so I used it for its monetary value instead. I sold it for, I believe it was 1,000 gold. So I basically just took his gift, said thanks, I love it, and then returned it so I could buy something that I really wanted with it. As the year finally turns over, I got level 6 in the farming skill. I'll be honest with you guys, as soon as I got the greenhouse, the challenge was basically over. It was just going to take time for crops to harvest and for me to harvest them and and sell them for money to buy other stuff. So at this point, I only started checking the greenhouse about every other day, but I was checking the mushroom cave every day for that sweet 300 money. I know this has just been kind of a highlight reel, and I haven't really been saying on summer day number 15, I did this, and summer day number 16, I did this, like a lot of the 100-day challenges do. This isn't a 100-day challenge. This is a challenge run where I want this done as soon as possible. I'm not shooting for perfection. I'm not shooting to get this. I'm not shooting to get that. I just want this challenge done. I am still going to finish this challenge and get to level 10 in farming just to prove a point that I can. I am stubborn like that. But I just wanted to let you know. I know it's been a highlight reel up to this point, but it is going to be the cut down, extremely fast, no questions asked highlight reel. Basically, what I'm going to say is this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and then just speed out. If you really want an accurate amount of time that passed in game, that timer in the top left, that is why I have it. I have it there, so that way you can see how long things take. Also, when I speed through stuff, you're able to tell, oh man, he got to level 12 in his farming skill, and it only took him 48 hours. That was a very long tangent. That's not in the script. It's fine. I got the final backpack upgrade. I purchased the minecarts from Joja, and it was here when I decided to only go into town to do shopping and do upgrades and stuff at the start of every season, thusly maximizing my experience gained, minimizing time wasted, both in-game and real life, and as I waste time waiting for shops to open because they only open at 9 and I wake up at 6 like a good farmer boy. I got to level 7 in farming. Shortly after that, I reached level 8. I paid Joja to repair the bridge leading to the quarry. I made it to the penultimate level of 9. I got the golden pumpkin again from the Spooktober's Eve event. I got the bus fix that goes to the desert. I don't know if I will ever head there for this playthrough, whether it be farming challenge or not, but one goal I had was purchasing all of the Joja upgrades, and this was just on the list and I could afford it at the time. I finally got the best pickaxe upgrade I will get this run, this whole run, not just the farming section, the golden pickaxe. I do have access to the desert and for Skull Caverns. However, I will not be getting iridium ore because that requires getting to the bottom of the normal mines and getting the fancy key, and I can't technically reach that until I hit combat level in my skill tree, and combat level is the last level. So I might go to the Skull Caverns for the last hoorah just to get that last 4 or 5 experience points, but there is a very good chance that I will not get any iridium other than the meteorite I mined earlier in this playthrough. Finally, I got farming level 10. It only took 2 whole in-game years. Yeah, year 3 started, had the whole grandpa cinematic that happens when you play the game for 3 in-game years, and I got to farming level 10. 20 plus hours of my life for this one silly challenge, just to prove how time-consuming farming is going to be. When I was making those tier lists, I had no idea it was going to take this long. I did not realize that it was going to take as long as it did, and I know I'm kind of jumping the gun here in my script and just kind of in everything. For some B-roll footage, I decided to do some mining, mainly because I was really excited to not be farming and I just started mining. In like half an hour to an hour, I got to level 4 in mining and I haven't even touched the mines yet. Like, I don't think mining, fishing, and or foraging are gonna take nearly as long as farming will, like combined. It's a great time, everybody. 100% highly recommend that you don't do this challenge. However, I do believe that combat will take close to farming's length. I can do a consistent experience gain in combat because you can fight monsters every day, unlike farming, but I do believe that it's going to take a decent chunk of time because of the experience gain and because Stardew Valley, while it's a great game, its combat is not the best. It's not a combat-focused game. It's a relaxing simulator farming kind of game. And as I was finishing up recording that day, it was like 11, maybe 11:30. I was almost ready for bed. I was falling asleep as I was recording. I did not hit the split for the farming level 10 screen. I did end up going back through, going frame by frame to make sure that I didn't miss it. It will be shown for the next bit of recording. So when I start out mining level 4, going into 5 and all that kind of stuff, but it was not shown on this part of the recording. And for those speedrun, I don't want to say snobs, but for those people that are going to hold me to this, you do this then. You see if your time is better than my time. Send me video proof and I will watch most of it on like a 12 times speed. I need to stop ad-libbing. I need to get to my script. Some final thoughts, some final conundrums, quandaries, if you will. This challenge was difficult, not in a this put my skills to the test and it got easier as I got better at the game kind of difficult. I mean this tested my patience and made me want to give up and just see how long it would take to max my skills while working on all of them at the same time. Kind of difficult. However, I'm a monkey for your amusement, and I will continue to push myself to do dumb challenges for video games. Some of them I enjoy, some of them I don't, both challenges and video games alike. However, I am here to push the content wheel because that is what I want to do, and scripting sucks, and recording is fine, and my throat hurts and I just want to be done. Hey guys, Postscript River. Hopefully it's obvious with just the way different things sound. Before we get to the final thoughts, I want to apologize for this video getting out later than anticipated. I had a really crazy week and I wasn't able to get a lot of extra stuff done. However, this video is only getting out about a day, half a day late, something like that. I did not, air quote, shill the challenge content that I've done. There is a challenge run playlist that has 2 other videos on it. There is also a link to a Google form if you want to see different challenge video content from me, and you can also leave those down in the comments. That is all. It's already a long video. It's late. I just want to go to bed. However, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Now, back to pre-recorded River. But some of my ending thoughts. First off, don't do this challenge. If you want to attempt this challenge, when you see this video, follow a guide, talk to some experts in Stardew Valley. I'm just a dude who's not even finished a full playthrough. I was like, oh, this is easy. It just sucked because it took so much time. Follow a guide, follow people telling you what to do, find the most opportune ways to get money to get that greenhouse earlier. Just don't do what I did. Do research, as I neglect to do it for most of my challenge runs. Number 2, I really hope that this is the longest grind in the game. I know combat is going to take a while, possibly similar in length, Stardew Valley, like in game wise. I don't think it's going to take another 20 hours because if it does, that'll be like a 60-hour challenge because I'm assuming 20 hours per section and I bounce off the sections the way that they are. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just really hope that it does not take nearly as long as it is. There was too many waiting periods in farming because you had to wait for crops to grow. You had to wait to harvest crops. You had to wait to get the greenhouse before you could maximize profits. It was a whole lot, and I am glad that that part is behind me. Finally, if you're going to attempt this challenge, do not do the community center if you value your life, your time, and if you want to talk to other people. You're going to have to harvest crops that are not ideal. You're going to have to focus money over community center, you could focus experience over money, which might be the smarter play. But in order to maximize your profits, you need $35,000. You need basically $40,000 to purchase the greenhouse from Joja. You can't get the greenhouse, I think, at all, or even get close, without breaking some of the skill rules with this game, with this type of challenge, I should say. So if you're going to attempt this challenge, please be smart and don't do it with the community center. If you do, again, like I said before, show me video proof. I would love to see it, like not as a sarcastic, oh, I'm better than you, but like in a, I don't believe you, please prove it. You might be able to get those alternative bundles. That might help. I don't know what they are, so I didn't do that. Do I regret this challenge? No, not at all. I thoroughly, for all of my griping, I think Stardew Valley is a good game, and playing it this way, while it's totally wrong, I think it's valid. I think it's a fun thing to do. I enjoy the game, and I love giving the praise and everything to the one-man studio of Concerned Ape who started it all. Do I wish I spent my time doing other things? Yeah, 100%, absolutely. You can't convince me that I did the right thing. I think I did a funny thing. I don't think it was the right thing. And I really wish I had a webcam because I'm doing a lot of freaking arm movements. But anyways, that's the end of part 1. Stick around for 3-ish weeks when I get ready for part 2. As I said, 3-ish weeks for part 2 where I focus on mining, fishing, and foraging. It'll be out in about 3-ish, 4-ish weeks, depending on the week if I'm busy any other weeks, because this last video should have been out a week before, and I'm sorry that it is not. But you know what? Fine, okay? I'll go to Nuka World. I'll finish up the Raider Challenge. I can't have any fun. I can't do what I want. I have to spin that content wheel. Why do you do this to me, game? Why do you do this to me, YouTube? People, who cares? Fine, I'll go through Nuka World. I said it. I'll go through Nuka World. People can stop commenting that. As I record this audio, which is a while before I start editing the video, people keep commenting on my Fallout video, hey, you should go to Nuka World. I'm working on it. Well, back to the wasteland I go.